What's your pain on a scale of 1 to 10? On any given day, mine is a 5. It's rarely lower than that and often higher. Some people only experience pain after an injury or while they're not feeling well, but there are others, like myself, who suffer every single day. Imagine my dismay to know that there is a medication that could help manage my pain and so many medical issues of others that has proven effective, safe, has a low potential for dependency. Are you not following why I'm dismayed? Well, it is also completely illegal in the state I live in. Marijuana is currently classified as a Schedule 1 drug and is illegal in 20 of our 50 states. 30 people in 30 states have access to this medication, but at any point in time, the federal government can override those state laws, causing 1 million plus people who are currently using this medication to lose it. And it's been found to be extremely beneficial and safe for them. The schedule classification of a drug is based on its accepted medical use, on its potential for abuse, and safety. With the help of the Mayo Clinic, Harvard Medical Clinic, the Drug Enforcement Administration, National Institute on Drug Abuse, Americans for Safe Access, and Statista, I will show you, based on these same criteria, why we should change the schedule classification and to criminalize the use of medical marijuana nationally. One of the first questions people need to ask, is it really medically necessary? After asking myself this very same question, I found an article from Harvard Health Publishing that states the most common use for medical marijuana in the United States is for pain control, much like what I need. This article even specifies more about how it is shown to ease pain associated with multiple sclerosis, lessen tremors in Parkinson's disease patients. Marijuana has also shown that it eases nerve pain in general, helps manage nausea, vomiting, and weight loss. This list is just the tip of the iceberg. And as we continue to explore all that it could be used for therapeutically in patients, we continue to find proven medical uses. The Drug Enforcement Administration, or DEA, website states Schedule 1 drugs, substances, or chemicals are defined as drugs with no currently accepted medical use. With proven medical uses such as the ones before mentioned, you have to ask yourself, why aren't these proven uses being accepted? This is the next question that I asked myself, and I found myself wondering, with all of the recreational use and misuse for non-medical reasons, could it be that it has a higher potential for abuse? Well, contrary to the myth that you cannot get addicted to marijuana, studies show that approximately 30% of marijuana users have some form of what is known as cannabis use disorder. 9% of marijuana users will become dependent, and 17% of those who starting while in their teens. But in order to get a true understanding of this number, I wanted to compare it to a form of drug that can be used to also treat pain, is a Schedule 2 drug, which is lower, such as a synthetic opioid, which according to the CNN article Opioid Crisis Facts, were prescribed 282 million times in 2012. And it includes medications like Dilaudid or Vicodin, which is a semi-synthetic opioid. Although this number decreased in 2016, 236 million prescriptions, either number is still a large amount of prescriptions to be filled for something that people in America have become dependent on, has caused hundreds of thousands of overdoses, and people have abused the prescriptions that were given to them. Going back to the DEA website, they say that Schedule 1 drugs have a high potential for abuse, and Schedule 2 drugs with a high potential for abuse, with use potentially leading to severe psychological or physical dependence. If we have both proven medical use and the potential for abuse is comparable to a Schedule 2 drug, why might marijuana still be as a Schedule 1 drug? Based on the criteria from the DEA, that means it must be safety, right? Well, let's see. Marijuana is similar to produce or tobacco in the fact that it's grown, not chemically created as the before mentioned synthetic opioid. This does not guarantee by any means that it is safe, I understand, but it does give us a basis in producing the product a safe way. In fact, a safety act, such as the Medical Marijuana Regulation Safety Act, which, according to Americans for Safe Access, which covers regulations for commercial medical cannabis cultivation, manufacturing, distribution, transportation, sales, and testing. Meaning that states where obtaining medical marijuana is possible already have safety measures in effect, which we could apply at a national level. Another safety issue similar to other drugs are the effects of a patient's cognitive ability while under the influence. Although it's shown that marijuana does affect your cognitive ability, other medications do as well. And ensuring that patients understand the effects that that medication has, as we do with all other medication, would ensure that people are aware that they need to stay away from alcohol or operating heavy machinery. Safety of both production and consumption can be achieved for medical marijuana with the correct practices in place and with a similar potential for abuse to lesser scheduled drugs and proven medical uses. You can see why designating it as a Schedule II drug is very reasonable, and with federal legalization would be beneficial to a great deal of people by allowing those who already have it to keep it and by allowing those who don't to get it. In the growth of the medical marijuana industry, among the 30 states that have legalized it thus far, you can see that it is becoming more widely practiced within the medical field and is benefiting the patients that have been prescribed any form of this treatment. In this same growth, we have found many proven medical uses, ways to ensure the safety of its production process from cultivation through sales and testing. And lastly, we can compare statistically the drastically lower dependence rates of medical marijuana to other drugs found on the Schedule I and Schedule II lists. Statistically and medically speaking, you can see the benefits of designating medical marijuana as a Schedule II or lower drug and legalizing the use of medical marijuana on a federal level to ensure that this beneficial form of treatment can be made available to more patients and can continue being available to patients who are greatly benefiting from it.